Jason.
Jason, I'm sorry. Okay. The regular meeting of Bucyrus City Council for February the 5th, 2019 is called to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could please remain standing for a moment. It is with great sadness that we announce the death of Joan Trucca, mother of our council member Bruce Trucca. We give a moment of silence, please. May she rest in peace. And also, we'd like to acknowledge the passing of Jack Bennix. It's Mr. Bennix because he was one of the coaches at the high school when I was there, and so many of us were there. He was there for 30 years. He also, after he retired, was the service safety director for the city of Bucyrus from 1996 until 1998. So a moment of silence, please, for him. May he rest in peace. Thank you. Roll call, please.
McKeever.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Wireball.
Here.
Trucca. Sack.
Here.
Vogt.
Here.
Schott.
Here.
Before you have the minutes of the January 15th, 2019 regular meeting. I need a motion to accept these minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Myers to accept the January 15th, 2019 regular meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. You also have before you the minutes from the January 29th, 2019 special council meeting. I need a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Foat, second by Mr. McKeever to accept the minutes from the special meeting of January the 29th, 2019. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passed. Thank you. This is the time where we grant permission for visitors to speak. Our first speaker this evening is Fleet Chief Dave Kepke is here with us. And he's going to give us a short account of what the year was all about.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, members of council, and to the audience, and to the citizens of Bucyrus. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you a review for the police department for 2018. And I will say it'll be a challenge to keep it short.
I know.
2018,
It
actually,
always is.
January 2019 has been rapid and busy, and some amazing things have happened in the last month. And I'm going to reflect on 2018, and one of the things I'll reflect on is a program that we implemented 2 years ago called Operation Hope. And slowly but surely, people have come actually forward to the police department asking for rehabilitation help and placement. And over the course of last year and the year before, it averaged about 2 people a month, 17 for the year. And in the last month, we had 12 people. And if that's any indication, there's been a sea change in attitude about the ability to go to the police department without fear that there actually is hope for overcoming addiction. So with that said, actually it would wear one person out, it would wear the entire police department out, and Officer Kramer can attest to this. Our role in dealing with problems in a community like this has changed steadily. It's a bit of an evolution, and the governor spoke about this the other day, but police officers are put in a position now of actually being a sponsor for people that are addicted. And at the end of the report, you'll see a reflection on the community. About 10 years ago, we had $6 million of healthcare fraud that was prosecuted by the FBI. We had 225,000 pills that were distributed by one doctor alone in this county illicitly. And that set us up for a tremendous downturn in our economy. It was a sentence to addiction for so many people. And to get past the stigma of addiction is very difficult because so many people became addicted in different ways. It's a very complicated issue, and long ago we said we couldn't arrest our way out of the problem. That being said, officers now, 10 years later, are seeing firsthand everybody's different. Our jail has always remained full. I'll probably in the upcoming weeks say it's critical that we maintain our jail, which that'll be on the ballot soon. And that was the detox facility, the only one available to us. Now across Ohio, we've escorted people to detox facilities in Mount Vernon, Worcester, Fremont, East Liverpool. We have to go 40 miles or more to help people. And there's rehab opportunities all across the state. And jail is not the only answer, but without the jail, there's many more people in our county would be dead. And our crime rate would be much higher. I have a great report to share with you because our crime rate has stayed at a 5-year low. Our criminal activity is at a 5-year low. And that goes hand in hand with addressing the addiction problem as an all-of-the-above approach. So it also fits in with our mission statement, which is committed to courtesy, integrity, and excellence. The Bucyrus Police Department endeavors to make the city of Bucyrus a community where our citizens feel safe to reside. I should say safe to approach the police department for help under any circumstance. Engaging the citizens in a partnership with the police, using everyone's wisdom, support, and resources to solve the concerns of the community. I think the addiction issue is a perfect example of that, and I'm sitting next to one of the leaders when that was happening 10 years ago. It took families to change the mind of courts and law enforcement that we had to approach this in a different way because lives were being lost by doing it the old way. We still follow the community-oriented policing model. We care. We have courtesy, integrity, and a people-oriented workplace. And I can attest to officers like Officer Kramer. Everybody has a big heart and wants to help people. It's not all about making arrests. We still make plenty of arrests. The only category that went up last year was felony arrests, the cases that are most important. Went up slightly, even at 158 felonies, that's still just a 5-year average, so it's not bad news. It means we're doing good work. Following that mission statement, we recognize that the ability to serve the community relies on your approval and cooperation to maintain order and reduce crime as much as possible. Therefore, to build positive relationships for a better Bucyrus. Our mission statement is based on the community policing philosophy, which has its roots in the 9 principles of policing by Sir Robert Peel. The 9th principle is the test of police efficiency is the absence of crime and disorder, not the visible evidence of police action dealing with it. Is crime absent? Of course not, but overall criminal activity is the best it's been and remains so, we're happy to say, but that's because of partnership with the community. We have, by my count, at least 46 volunteers with the police department, above and beyond the 25 people that work in the police department. Actually 26. Our utility person, Al Williams, is retiring this April, so we're gonna miss him. But that, my math is not great, but if we go from 25 and 46, we're approaching 70. Some people involved in that endeavor, and when the revolution was fought, 2% of the people in this land made the revolution happen. If we had 240 people in this community working on public safety and law enforcement, I think we do, that's all it takes to make a difference. And we have to work together, all our fire department, EMS, all of our social service agencies, we work together and depend on each other. And I'll reiterate, we depend on having a justice center that's fully funded. So without the volunteers though, we wouldn't have Operation Hope, we wouldn't have Police Explorers. The police auxiliary does tremendous work behind the scenes. Again, the absence of police action, but behind the scenes, this is the time to recognize these volunteers that are making a difference in the community, and they don't make the news. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Neighborhood Watch, and I've talked about this a lot, but to maybe lighten the mood a little bit, we've introduced a virtual neighborhood network. Another evolution, I think, that helps crime stay low is security systems, security cameras, and we've had many minor, some serious cases solved with people submitting videos to us or pictures. And what we're asking the public to do now with the virtual neighborhood network is register their cameras voluntarily. They're not obligated to share anything with us, but if there's an action that happens near their camera, we could say there was a theft from a car in the 800 block of South Walnut Street. Could you, anyone in the area, please check your footage and see if maybe there's some evidence that you might see. We had 2 nights ago, somebody walking down Walnut Avenue near Wallace must have been carrying a large glass container, and they might have slipped on a patch of ice because the container and the pennies were spread in about a 50-foot radius on the ground. And Lieutenant Word picked up most of the pennies, or all of them, and put them in a 5-gallon bucket, and it weighed 73 pounds. So anyone at Wallace and Walnut, if you have security cameras, please check your footage in the early morning hours to see if we see the crash of the penny thief. And maybe we'll be able to identify the suspect. But that's how we work together, though. We did have, and there was a video that we have on our Facebook page about illegal dumping that'll be in court tomorrow, and that was within moments. It solved the matter because we all identified who was responsible, and we'll be talking to Mr. Ratliff tomorrow morning. So, in 2018, we welcomed 3 new officers, Daniel Ruffner, Doug McDonald, and Andrew Plummer. And the 3rd officer was by our partnership with the Bucyrus schools and the School Resource Officer Program. Their funding allowed us to have a 2nd resource officer, and that's James Mata. He joins Officer Joe Stahl, who's the DARE officer. And the SRO program, again, statistically speaking, there's no way I can give you statistical evidence of all the diversion, intervention, and prevention work that they do to keep kids on the straight and narrow and out of juvenile court. And as my friend Sam used to always say, we want to keep kids on the court, not in court. And we want to keep them busy at the parks after school and doing athletics and art and music and their homework rather than legal work. So Officer Mata and Officer Stahl are making a difference at the school, and by the same token, we know who the kids are that might get in trouble, and our curfew arrests did go up a little bit last year. But, I've already spoke about the Police Fighting Addiction Program, Operation Hope, and we'll continue pursuing that. We now have a helpline for Operation Hope. Our certified coach, recovery counselor volunteer is Santana Stamper, and she is the first line of contact for the 419, I don't know the number off the top of my head. Look it up online. You'll see it, and it's on the police Facebook page.
Okay.
And the phone has been very active, obviously, in January. Going back 10 years, the economic impact of healthcare fraud and illegal dispensing of pills was tremendous. If we have 200 people actively in addiction in our county, which I would contend we do, even now, that's approximately a $5 million exit of money from our local economy towards drug abuse. Recently, Crawford Works has a great program going, and we had the pleasure of hearing actually Kiwanis and Rotary presentation from Robin Hildebrand, and 60+ people are successful in completing Crawford Works, and that has a positive impact on our economy of $700,000. So if we keep working on things like that, I think we'll see real progress, and hopefully we'll start to see it this year as more people, and in Operation Hope, there's so many success stories. Some of the volunteer coaches themselves have recovered and have their own businesses, are doing very well, and that's great news. And 562-9010 is not Operation Hope.
It's on your flyer.
Oh,
Emergency crisis line.
that is the emergency crisis line, but you can ask for it there.
Wondered what he was going to get.
So, I just want to thank again the Bucyrus schools for their partnership. Safety Town is as strong as ever. I want to thank Sarah Lipscomb for all her hard work. She's moving on with her academics. So the firefighters and police officers have to pull more of the weight in leading Safety Town in the years ahead, and we will. And it's been a great program. And we did have a new improved Safety Town site at the school last year. And we're asking the citizens, you'll see some mailing from me asking for financial support for Safety Town to help firefighters and police officers work with the incoming kindergartners on safety around the streets, around the bus, at home, and that's their introduction to being in school, and being on the sidewalks. So we want them to be out there with some information. And with that, I'm going to ask you to look at the statistical report. The biggest change in the statistical report, 88% difference in failure to pay income tax. Maybe Mr. Ratliff could speak to that, or auditor. The other categories typically are reduced some. In the felony categories, you're gonna see increases in felony domestic violence and felony forgery. I want to remind the public, it's not rude to be shrewd with people on the phone. We had more calls about scams today on the phone, especially this time of year with the IRS. Don't fall prey to being the nice person answering the phone, and then the next thing you know, you're out at Walmart or Kroger buying a gift card to execute a wire transfer, and you're out $500 or you're out $1,000. If somebody's calling you on the phone from the IRS, that's not true, it's a scam. They won't call you. How do they contact you?
They call, but sometimes it could be even a local number, and you think it's someone you know, and then you pick it up, and they're telling you that you're gonna go to jail if you don't contact them or send them money right away. And
So it's not rude to be shrewd. It's best to hang the phone up and do business through official channels, like the mail, right? If you have any questions, of course, call the police department. We want you to report any suspicious activity, whether it's in the mail, email, phone calls. Let us know so we can share it with everyone else in the public so that we avoid being victims of scams. And I want to talk about a couple things. We have upcoming a basic handgun safety awareness course, which we're taking registrations for right at this time at the police desk. Retired auxiliary Mike Schieffer is an NRA instructor, and he will teach all the basics of legal handling and safe handling of firearms, and at the conclusion of the course, you'd be eligible for applying for a CCW permit. Also at the police desk, we have the registration for the virtual neighborhood watch program. It's a voluntary program. We simply ask if you'll let us know so that we can keep a log of where the cameras are. It'll help us to investigate more quickly and notify the public where activity is so that they can use the cameras, hopefully to help us out, solve crime. And I don't have anything else. I'm looking forward to a great 2019. I hope I was able to be brief enough.
You did.
Okay, only 15 minutes.
Yes. I knew it'd be a little over, okay. Any questions or anything you want to address to the chief right now? No? Okay, thank you very much. That was interesting news this year. It was a lot of changes, and I'm most interested in how you're saying that how the police work has to be accomplished now is so different than it was 10 years ago, and what the training the officers go through.
Crisis intervention training, I'm proud to say almost everyone in our department has that training. It's made a huge impact on how we respond to mental health crisis, and any other kind of crisis, usually that involves emotion and tragedy.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else to address council this evening? No one? Moving on to communications and petitions.
We have two communications. The first one is dated January 16 from the Planning Commission to City Council regarding items approved by the Planning Commission for council's review and approval. Dear Council President, the Bucyrus City Planning Commission met on Thursday, January 10, 2019. The Planning Commission approved the following items and requests that they be submitted to the appropriate council committees for review and approval. 1, Group 3 sewer separation project, and 2, proposed zoning expansion of the neighborhood business district to South Poplar Street and South Walnut Street from Charles Street to Oakwood Avenue. Thank you, Mayor Jeff Reeser, Chairman Planning Commission, and 2 referrals.
Okay, the first one for the Group 3 sewer separation project needs to be referred to planning committee and to finance. I need a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Myers, to refer the Group 3 sewer separation project to planning and finance committee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Then we also have the proposed zoning expansion of the neighborhood business district. That needs to go to planning committee. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Foat, for the proposed zoning expansion to plating. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you.
We have a letter from the Traffic Commission dated January 21 to the Health and Safety Committee. Dear Health and Safety Committee, the City of Bucyrus Traffic Commission would like to recommend an amendment to the traffic control map that repeals a portion of ordinance number 19, 2017. 1, to remove the additional 4 parking places on the west side of the courthouse or north of Wall Street. The history of these Traffic Commission recommendations are attached, and they'll be in the, keep them because they will not be impacted on Thursday. Sincerely, Jeffrey L. Reeser, Mayor, and that has to be referred to the Health and Safety Committee.
Okay, I need a motion then to put this into Health and Safety Committee to remove those 4 additional parking spaces on the west side of the courthouse.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Schock, second by Mr. Foat. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you. Moving on to our standing committee reports. Mr. Foat, would you like to get us started with that?
Bucyrus City Joint Regular Committee meeting met Thursday, January 17, 2019. Meeting was called to order at 6:01 p.m. Members present: Mark McKeever, Kevin Myers, Dan Wireball, Bruce Truca, myself, and Andrew Shaw. Monica Sack was absent. Up first, Bucyrus City Joint Regular Committee meeting was called to order by myself at 6:01 p.m. Number 2, public participation, there was none. Number 3, order of committee business. Economic Development Committee met first at 6:02 p.m. Members in attendance: Dan Wireball, Mark McKeever, and myself, Chair. Up first, we have subcommittee appointment. Council received a letter from the City Planning Commission asking that it consider approving the reappointment of Robert Thiel to the commission for a 6-year term. McKeever made a motion to reappoint Thiel to the commission with a second by Wireball. Motion passed by voice vote. The matter next goes to full council for a vote on February 5th. Vote recessed Economic Development Committee at 6:03 p.m.
Okay, I need a motion from council to approve the appointment of Robert Thiel to the City Planning Commission.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wireball, second by Mr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you very much. And Mr. Thiel, we look forward to you being around for another 6-year term. And those commissions that these people volunteer for, they get no pay for, but they serve, it's a good service to our community that they provide. So we're very pleased with that. Okay, moving on, Health and Safety Committee, Mr. Myers?
Health and Safety Committee met at 6:03 p.m. Members present: Mark McKeever, Bruce Truca, Andrew Schock, and Kevin Myers, Chair. Item 1, mutual aid agreement. Hire Captain Chad Schwenley noted that Portsmouth Emergency Ambulance Service Incorporated has requested that the Bucyrus Fire Department provide mutual aid for the city, as well as Bucyrus and Liberty Townships. Law Director Robert Ratliff observed that the Service Safety Director has the authority to enter into a mutual aid contract without the need of legislation. McKeever made a motion to allow the Service Safety Director to enter into contract with Portsmouth Ambulance for mutual aid in the city of Bucyrus and Liberty Townships, or the city and Bucyrus and Liberty Townships, with a second by Truca. Motion passed by voice vote. No legislation is required. The matter now goes to the full council for a vote on February 5.
Your last time.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the vote first. My apologies. Myers recessed the Health and Safety Committee at 6:11 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments regarding that report? Then I do need a motion then to enter into contract with Portsmouth Ambulance for mutual aid in the city and the Bucyrus and Liberty Townships.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Foat, second by Mr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed, thank you. That's taken care of. Moving on, Mr. McKeever, Plating Committee.
Yes, planning committee met Thursday, January 17th and resumed at 6:11 to 6:14. Members present, Bruce Truca, Kevin Myers, and myself, chair. Number one, Group 2 sewers bid. Service Safety Director Jeff Wagner explained that Brandstetter Carroll Inc. wants to go out to bid in March for the Group 2 sewer project, part of the city's ongoing combined sewer overflow reduction project. The probable cost, construction cost, including a 10% contingency, is $989,629.47. Myers made a motion to request legislation authorizing the Service Safety Director to advertise for bids and to enter into a contract not to exceed $989,629.47 for the Group 2 sewer project and authorizing the auditor to draw a warrant. Truca seconded the motion, which passed by voice vote. The matter was referred to the Finance Committee. Keywords recess, Planning Committee at 6:14 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes? Okay, I need a motion then for, not for this one. That one we have legislation forthcoming. Okay, we did go with legislation for that one. Moving on, then we have Public Lands and Buildings, Mr. Wireball.
Okay, Public Lands and Buildings Committee met Thursday, January 17th, 2019, 6:14 p.m. We finished up at 6:27. Members present, Bruce Truca, Doug Vogt, Mark McKeever, and myself. First up was ODOT paving of State Route 4. Council President Sis Love referred an ODOT project to pave a quarter-mile of State Route 4 of the State Route 4 north of the US 30 bypass to the committee. The city corporation line abuts the east side of State Route 4 there, just north of where State Route 19 branches off to the west, and the city portion of this project cost would be $6,250. ODOT requires consent legislation from the city to move ahead with this project. McKeever made a motion to request such legislation with a second by vote. Motion passed by voice vote. The matter was referred on to the Finance Committee. ODOT requires consent legislation by February 1st from the city to move ahead with the paving of North Sandusky Avenue, or State Route 4, from Plymouth Street to the US 30 bypass, with the city's portion of the project cost coming to $206,000. ODOT also requires a resolution of cooperation by February 1st from the city to move ahead with the paving of Marion Road, or State Route 4, from South Sandusky Avenue to the city's South Corporation line, with the city's portion of the project coming to $212,668. Vote made a motion to request the desired legislation pertaining to the ODOT projects on North Sandusky Avenue and Marion Road, with a second by McKeever. Motion passed by voice vote. The matters were referred to the Finance Committee. Farmland bids. Service Safety Director Jeff Wagner explained that 6 ordinances are needed to authorize his office to advertise for bid the leasing of 10 parcels of tillable land totaling about 135 acres for the growing of crops, which is typically done for a 3-year period. The city made $24,460 on the last round of bids in 2016. The 10 parcels are along Crowder Road in Bucyrus Township, comprising part of Shrine Park, formerly the Bucyrus Shrine Gun Club, off West Southern Avenue in the city of at the wastewater treatment plant on the southwest side of the property, in Liberty Township on Keys Road at the northeast corner of Othwaite Reservoir, in Liberty Township along State Route 98, east adjoining Othwaite Reservoir, in Bucyrus Township adjoining runways of the airport, and in the city at the airport adjacent to State Route 98 in the railroad tracks, north of the auxiliary runway. Vote made a motion to request 6 ordinances authorizing the Service Safety Director to advertise for bid the leasing of the 10 tillable parcels, with second by Truca. Motion passed by voice vote. Wireball recessed, Public Lands and Buildings Committee at 6:27 p.m.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding the minutes of that meeting? Okay, thank you. Moving on, Finance Committee, Mr. Wireball?
Okay.
Pardon me. Oh,
The Finance Committee met Thursday, January 17, 2019. We began at 6:27 p.m. and finished up at 6:42 p.m. Members present, Kevin Myers, Andrew Schock, and myself, acting chair. Monica was absent. Group 2 sewer bids, Branstetter Carroll Incorporated wants to go out to bid in March for the Group 2 sewer project, part of the city's ongoing combined sewer overflow reduction project. The probable construction cost, including a 10% contingency, is $989,629,047. The Planning Committee has requested legislation authorizing the Service Safety Director to advertise for bids and to enter into contract not to exceed $989,629.47 for the Group 2 sewer project, and authorizing the auditor to draw a warrant. Myers made a motion approving the legislation request with a second by Schock. Motion passed by voice vote. Next up was the ODOT paving of State Route 4. ODOT requires the following 3 pieces of legislation to proceed with the repaving of State Route 4. Consent resolution for paving quarter-mile of State Route 4 north of US 30 bypass, with city responsible for $6,250 project cost. Consent resolution for paving North Sandusky Avenue from Plymouth Street to US 30 bypass, with city responsible for $206,000 of project cost. Legislation needed by February 1st. Cooperation resolution for paving Marion Road from South Sandusky Avenue to the city's South Corporation line, with city responsible for $212,668 of project cost. Legislation needed by February 1st. The Public Lands and Buildings Committee has requested the 3 pieces of legislation. Schock made a motion to approve the first request with a second by Myers. Motion passed by voice vote. Schock made a motion to approve the second request with a second by Myers. Motion passed by voice vote. Myers made a motion to approve the third request with a second by Schock. Motion passed by voice vote. Council members decided to schedule a special full council meeting on Tuesday, January 29th at 6 p.m. to consider the 3 ODOT resolutions. Next up was the fire department bid. Fire Captain Chad Schwemley noted that the bid for the expenditure of federal assistance to firefighters grant funds to purchase breathing apparatus equipment came in over the estimate of $116,424. Included in resolution number 243-2018, necessitating a new resolution for an amount not to exceed $135,000. Schock made a motion requesting legislation authorizing the Service Safety Director to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the purchase of the equipment using grant funds not to exceed $135,000, with a second by Myers. Motion passed by voice vote. Enterprise fund reimbursements. Auditor Joyce Schiffer explained that the percentage breakdowns in the enterprise fund reimbursements for 2018 expenditures are the same as the year before, an amount of $862.21 from each enterprise fund has been added to reimburse the general fund for 1 month of the telephone system purchase. A total of $72,860.73 per fund, which is 20% of the total amount, will be charged to the waterworks, sewage disposal, solid waste, and stormwater utility funds. Myers made a motion to request legislation reimbursing the general fund from the various other funds to defray the 2018 operation costs of the city's municipal offices, with a second by Schock. Motion passed by voice vote. Appropriations. Schiffer reported that the following appropriations need to be made. First, from unappropriated general funds, $20,000 to Program 1, Security of Persons and Property, /7110 and 7111, Police Department, /23, contractual services for a grant received from the Adam H. Board for a quick response team project to help addicts into recovery. Next, from unappropriated general funds, $1,715.86 to Program 1, Security of Persons and Properties, /7110 and 7111, Police Department, /24, Materials and Supplies for a donation received from Projects Incorporated for the Police Explorers. Schock made a motion to request legislation making the above appropriations, with a second by Myers. Motion passed by voice vote. Ball recess to Finance Committee at 6:42 p.m.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments about any of the items from the Finance Committee report? We will report that the council did, as you heard at the very beginning, we had a meeting on January the 29th, 2019, a special meeting about these 3 ODOT pieces of legislation, and they were passed at that time in a timely manner and then sent on to ODOT to keep them happy. And that took place. So, would you like to finish for us then, please?
Sure. Public participation. Truca asked for an update on any planned changes to the water line at the water plant's bulk water station. Service Safety Director Jeff Wagner says he's in the midst of reaching out to water haulers about what improvements they'd like to see. Wireball asked for a motion to adjourn the joint regular committee. Motion by Vogt and second by McKeever to adjourn at 6:44 p.m. Motion passed.
Every time. Thank you.
That's why I giggled every time.
Every time.
Okay, moving along, Traffic Commission, we don't have any minutes from the Traffic Commission, but if there are any traffic questions you'd like to address to the mayor this evening? Anyone? None? Moving on, I need a motion to accept the committee minutes and related committee reports collectively.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Vogt, second by Mr. McKeever, to accept the committee reports and related committee reports collectively. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. This is where we have the report of city officers. Mayor Reeser.
Thank you, Madam President. Before I start, I want to mention about Mr. Bennix. Many of us had him as a teacher in school and as a coach also. I'm fortunate to have him as a coach. He was a class act, a man of few words, but when he spoke, you listened. And the other person I want to single out is Chief Kepke. He's too humble to tell you that I asked him what he thought of the Super Bowl, and he didn't get to see it because he was taking someone to rehab Sunday evening. And that's the kind of guy that he is. So thank you, Chief, for doing that. I appreciate that. I also told you you don't have to stay. You can leave if you want to.
Waiting for Mr. Rattle's report.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm sure. Couple things. First of all, Kelly and I met with the Historical Society last month about plans for the upcoming bicentennial celebration in 2021. But did you know that the Nortons actually arrived in Bucyrus in 1819, 200 years ago? Yeah, this year. And we were informed of that too by the Historical Society. And so guess what? We're gonna have Sam and Mary Norton Day. And with tentative plans in Saturday before Labor Day. And we'll have more details on it, a little celebration at the art park. So the incorporation actually took place in 1821, so the big celebration will be in 2021. We also had the bid opening for the sale of the water garage at Marion Road. You had one bid, and it was acceptable, and it was awarded at the bid board control meeting. PAR, Public Safety Equipment, is coming to the Bucyrus business community and will be occupying that room. We're very excited to have them. They're a business that outfits safety vehicles, police cars, fire, EMS, and it's a family business. So we've sold 2 properties. The decision to move to OTOT was a good one. We've got now about roughly about $400,000. Hensley's bought the building on the Mary Street garage, and they're in there now. We closed on that. So we have enough money that we're starting to do some work. We'll be painting and carpeting, and do some work on the buildings, and we get moving out there in hopefully the spring and so over the summertime too. So then, I mean, we're able to sell these buildings and also bring jobs to the community. So we're very happy about that. And Mr. Wagner, myself, and Kelly Patterson, our administrative assistant, sponsored a bowling party last Saturday. We had a great time. You were there as a #1 cheerleader or heckler, so we appreciate that.
Whichever worked out
We had a
best.
lot of fun. There was everybody that showed up, I think, had a great time. Butch and Robin Pangello do a great job, and they made sure we had a good time. So that's my report. I do want to, there's some, in front of you, I have some things I wanted to bring up about water rates, because there's a lot of comments about our water rates, especially. You all have in front of you what I call the facts concerning our water portion of our utility rates. So I'm going to do this in a series of all the lines. If you were able to watch the mayor's roundtable, we addressed some of this. That's on YouTube or on our city website. But I want to get this out there. Fact number 1 and number 2, I'm going to combine into one. We can't live without water. That's the astute grasp of the obvious. And number 2, we are obligated as city officials to provide clean and safe water. So having said that, the new water plant, which opened in 2017, I'm at fact number 3, replaced a plant built in 1948, 70 years old roughly, and well past its useful life. It was producing water, but it was in need of major repairs. But more sinister to me was in 2007 we had the citywide flood. It came literally within inches of compromising our water supply. And we were told that we would have been without water probably up to 6 months as a city. And that cripples industry. There's only so much bottled water that you could bring in. So previous administrations saw that, and kudos to them for starting the process on that. Fact number 4, council voted unanimously in 2014 to proceed with a contract to build a new plant. That was the Roger Moore administration. I'm going to insert fact number 4.5. Roger Moore led that fight, but 4.5 is our administration figures out how we have to pay for it, right? So we can thank Roger for that. May he rest in peace. Number 5, the water portion of the utility bill had not seen a rate increase since 2002. And that goes back to several administrations. That not even keeping up with inflation, and the cost of new contracts. Number 6, less than $600,000 had been put aside in a special fund to offset the cost of the plant because previous administrations didn't feel the need to do that. Water rates were kept artificially low for 12 years. Number 7, the cost of the plant was estimated to be approximately $25 million. but the accepted bid was about $22,500,000. We were ecstatic. It was 10% over the cost. Interest rates had also bottomed out at that time. And the city was able to lock in a rate less than 2%. I think it's what, Joyce can correct me, I think it's 1.67, I think.
1.57.
1.57, okay, even better. So we were able that time then to combine two proposed loans, a 30-year and a 20-year, into one lower one at a lower rate, and saved us millions of dollars over the course of repaying that loan back. Number 8, there were no government grants for new water treatment facilities, and none exist today. So you can drive to Columbus all you want and meet with reps, and you go to Washington DC wherever you want. There's no money out there, and there's no sense even mentioning that because it's not there. Now, whether it's there in the future, we will be the first to know about it. Each community is responsible for paying for their own plan with the help from low interest loans like we have. So number 9, the city must repay the amount that was financed, and the loan must be paid back with user fees. We cannot use general fund money. User fees are how much water we sell, right? Amortization costs are about $1.8 million per year. We pay it twice a year. July 1st and December, like the end of June and the end of December. Am I correct, Joyce, right?
Yes.
Okay. And future elected officials, people that sit in these seats, will have the opportunity in 18 years, 18 short years, when that mortgage is burnt, and you will be able to decide, if some of you are still here, what you want to do with rates. If you want to drop them then, you can do that. What's that?
I'm still young.
You're still just a kid. Yeah. I'm looking, that's why I'm looking at you. So in case you're wondering. Fact number 10, rates have not tripled, as recently mentioned in the press. The rate for 1,000 cubic feet in 2014 was $6.71, and now it's $11.48. That's not tripling, right? We've gone, just to give you the big picture, we've gone from about a $2.5 million water fund budget to about a $4.5 million. So we need to raise about $2 million to pay for the loan, right? Very simple arithmetic. All right. The rate graph that is being circulated on social media is misleading. The earliest record that we have for water rates is from 1978. It was $1.20 per 1,000 cubic feet. We don't know how long that rate was in effect. That rate could have been put in effect in 78, or it could have been in effect in 68 or 60. We don't know. It could have been 12 years or whatever. So the inflation amount is very misleading. So let's consider that the possibility of the rate in effect in 1978 had been in effect for 12 years. So you see what happens on the inflation rate then. That in inflation 2008, $19 is almost $10 per 1,000 cubic feet, a little less than $10. And we haven't even taken into account that we're building a new plant too, right? Fact number 12, the utility department in 1978 was non-unionized. Costs per employee have risen significantly, so you can't compare costs in 2018 with 1978. Also keep in mind that everyone knows what hospitalization has done in those years. We are paying, just for that one department, over $200,000. That's 5% of our budget, roughly, just for water utility hospitalization costs. Now we have retirement buyouts that are part of the union contract, where we have to pay, if they have sick, cumulative vacation or sick pay, they take some of that with them. All right, fact number 13. We have built and are paying for a new plant that has a 50 to 75 year lifespan. And those rates now are barely above the inflation adjusted rates from the 70s. We owe this remarkable accomplishment to the factors mentioned above. We built at the best time for interest rates. We were able to combine loans, and the bid came under budget. Just think where we would be if we didn't have those 3 blessings. It would, for every 1% that the rate would go up, it's $4 million over the cost of amortization. Every 1% over the cost of a 20-year loan. That's a whole year of budget. So you can see how fortunate we are. So we can complain all we want about rates. We pay the same rates. We don't like it either. But we've been blessed, actually. Number 14, elected officials should be proud that they put residents first. Now, we had to make some tough decisions that was thrown in our lap. We will not do the same to future administrations. We look ahead, what's coming down the line. Like, we need to hold our head high. You folks that were on council at that time that voted for that, you did the right thing. Number 15, current and future administration will not be able to reduce rates. No matter what's said out there, they won't be able to reduce rates as long as we're paying a mortgage on the plant. Just as it would be as you have a home mortgage or a car loan. It has to be paid for, unless there's grants that come along. And I don't plan on them, but if they do, we'll take advantage of them. Or if we have someone that throws $20 million in our lap, we'll go pay for it. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Number 16, we have not been given any concrete ideas about how we can reduce rates. Ears are open, and so anybody has any ideas, council, people in the public, whatever, we're all ears. Let us come talk to us. We're open to hearing any plan you have to reduce rates. These are the facts as we see them, and we're more than willing to open for discussion to how we can reduce rates, but we're keeping them as low as possible. And I did want to mention that currently our rates are still 20% lower than was recommended by our engineers, Jones and Henry. And that's only because we've been able to get those benefits of the lower interest rates and the lower cost of the plants. So we're still 20% lower. We have to make over $4 million in that department. Now, one thing I did mention, the cost of water has gone up, and when that happens, people use less, right? So if you have a 10% raise in rates, we're not seeing a 10% raise in revenue. So that's something we need to keep in mind. We haven't seen that. So people are saving money, and they're saving, I understand how that works, but we still have obligations. We will have to meet these obligations. The other thing, I mentioned this before, we've been very aggressive. The other way we can spread out the pain of new increases is to sell more water. And you've worked with us as council to go outside the city, and we're going County Road 35. Beach Grove, we picked up people, we picked up boards out at by Winford there, so those are all things that add up. We're aggressive to sell water. That will help to reduce the burden on all of us, so keep that in mind. It's the one way we'll benefit. So thank you. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them.
Any questions? Okay, moving on to Service Safety Director's report.
I'll play Mr. Wagner tonight, and I have to say the first thing, number one, we had some snow recently, right? The first snow event on the weekend, and they always seem to be coming on the weekends, by the way. We had estimated hours, 113 hours of overtime, $3,400. The second one was that was a longer snow event. That was the day we had approximately 15 inches of snow, and our crews were out and about and did a fantastic job. That cost $12,000 in overtime. Did you know we had a water break? It was very cold. Those guys they're extremely cold there, but we got it taken care of. We were holding our breath that we wouldn't have any, but sure enough we did. As I mentioned, the sale of the water distribution garage went to Park, and their bid was $320,000, and they have 30 days to close from the award date. The sale is now final at Mary Street Garage, as I mentioned. New owners are Hensley's. They're going to have an auto shop there. We met with ODOT on stage 3 plans for Route 4 North, and Branstetter Carroll's making some minor corrections to the plans. We're still taking comments on Route 4 North, the bike lanes for our public meeting until the 10th. So if you have any comments, questions, please, we got about roughly to the end of the week. Legislation was submitted to ODOT for 3 upcoming projects. And number 8, we're still taking applications for general labor, skilled labor until February 22nd. Please pick up an application at the mayor's office. Jeff is working with Bruce from Branstetter Carroll, the mill and pave list. I think we gave you a preliminary list, if I'm correct. Yes, okay. If you guys have any comments, additions, deletions, the salt and the snow has been particularly hard on some streets, and, which leads me into putting a plug for our upcoming renewal, streets renewal. So that's coming in May, and we really need that. So, and Jeff, wanted to thank everybody who shoveled their sidewalk. It is a city ordinance that you must shovel your sidewalks. We aren't finding anybody. I realize the last 15 inches or whatever we had was extremely difficult. There's a lot of snow everywhere. Sidewalks now seem to be very clean, but to me, it's disheartening to see people having to walk in the street. So everyone is responsible for shoveling their own sidewalk. Whether you are a resident or a landlord, please take care of that on common courtesy. That's it for Safety Service Director's report.
Okay. Questions or comments?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. McKeever?
I was asked by a constituent that wondered why the street sweeper was out on Stetzer Road.
Stetzer Road.
Yes, and a good distance out on Stetzer Road. I'm just saying, it was today also.
It was on Plymouth Street this morning,
Yeah.
when I came to work.
They asked me about Stetzer Road.
Yeah, we would not be normally a place we sweep, unless he was going out to the.
Water plant.
No, well.
No, this was well past.
Would he be by Pines Reservoir?
No, he was past that.
I'll find out what you know.
Okay, they asked and I said I'd bring it up.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Any other
I'll
questions
send
or
you the
comments?
email tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. I need a motion about the mill and pave. We need to put that into committee. I don't know if we'll have all the information this week or not, but let's get it into committee. So I need a motion, please. Motion by Mr. Schock, second by Mr. McKeever, to put the mill and pave project into public lands and finance. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you. Moving on to the law director.
Thank you, Madam President. Two quick referrals. First to finance and health and safety, or finance and service, I believe. We need to refer the manpower and the billing ordinances for consideration of safety forces staffing in our various safety forces departments. Second one is we need to make a referral to the Health and Safety Committee for safety regulations regarding rental properties. By way of announcement, movie nights, we've got dates picked out, so those will be getting announced soon. So those people that are interested in sponsoring movies, be watching for those dates, and pick a date, be able to pick a movie. And we'll try to keep those fees down. Last year we got a really good deal, so we'll see if we can do the same thing. Lastly, I want to talk about this briefly because I want people to take advantage of this. And this is something that Chief Kepke posted on the Bucyrus Police Department's Facebook page. From January 31st to July 31st of this year, the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles is offering a reinstatement fee amnesty program. What happens when you get your driver's license suspended for any number of things? I believe there's 16 different things to get your driver's license suspended in Ohio, some of which are completely bureaucratic decisions. You have no due process in it. When your license is suspended, you have fines and costs and fees and all those sorts of things you get from the court or the agency that suspended you. But you also have reinstatement fees with the DMV. And it's a minefield. People have horrible trouble trying to navigate both the courts and the administrative agencies and the DMV. I had a gentleman in court last week who owed the DMV and reinstatement fees in excess of $60,000. It does add up. It adds up quick. So this amnesty program is a tremendous benefit. Take advantage of it. Contact the DMV. You can get the forms. There's, in true DMV fashion, there's lots of hoops and rules and things you need to jump through. But if you're one of those people that I see in court all the time and you just can't get it straight, come see us. We'll help walk you through it. There's a form that's available online. It is available from the DMV. If you don't have access to it online, come to my office, I'll print it. I'm sure the police department will print them for you too, I don't want to promise for you, but I know they will. It's just, it's hard to raise a family in this day and age, and it's hard to keep a job if you don't have a driver's license. And our driving laws are probably some of the most complex in the country. So take advantage of this. It's a huge benefit, and really can, it can change your life, get your driver's license. It's amazing how many people we see that don't have a license, can't navigate the complexity of this, can't afford to get it. I don't know how many you cite. I know I prosecute at least 3 or 4 a week, probably, and those are the ones that come to court, the ones that pay, their
More
deferments.
people are cited for driving under suspension than speeding on
Yeah.
That's in the reports right there.
Yeah, it's an amazing number, and it's really it's a drag on our economy, it really is. So, take advantage of it. If you have questions, we'll help you. We want you to get legal. So.
Okay, any questions or comments for the law director?
I would just reiterate that if you're gonna do that, you're gonna take all those steps, make sure you follow the rest of the laws too. This is the state where you're required to have insurance, so make sure you follow that up.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'll end up with another suspended license for getting caught with no insurance.
There's a lot of help. The courts, Judge Lindholm is very aggressive about trying to talk people through the process. We try to help. I mean, it's,
Well, it's to everyone's advantage that to be properly employed and to be supporting their family. It's for the community.
Yeah, there's no studies. There's studies out there about, the value of a high school education and your work, and the value of college education and fees. There's no real studies that I know of about the value of a driver's license, but, if you can't get out to the industrial park consistently and regularly on your own, it's hard to keep those jobs. And, so take advantage of it. If you need help, there's everybody there will help you.
Okay. Anything else? No? Okay. I need a motion then to put the manpower and bill it into finance committee and service committee.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Wireball, motion by Mr. Wireball, second by Mr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed, thank you. And then into health and safety, some safety regs regarding rental properties. I need that to go into health and safety committee. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Wireball. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Thank you very much. Okay, now if you want to slip out, Chief, you're more than welcome. Call it a day. Moving on to the auditor, Mrs. Schiffer.
Thank you, Madam President. You have a statement of cash position for the end of January, and our income tax monthly comparison, and then the revenue tally, the budget, and they all look kind of low for January, but that's kind of typical. That's why we have had carryovers until, taxes and everything start rolling in. So, if you have any questions on those, you could ask at any time. I have one referral this evening for the Finance Committee. We need an appropriation reduction in Fund 282, Victims of Crime Act, Victim Advocate Personal Services, the amount of $80.78 to correct an error in the 2019 budget. And that's all I have this evening.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the auditor this evening, or comments? Okay, I need a motion then for this appropriation reduction. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fogue, second by Ms. Sack. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. Okay, thank you. The treasurer's report for December of 2018 was given to you at the last meeting. I need a motion to accept and file that report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Schott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed, thank you. Police chief's already done. Any comments for the fire departments you want to share with us this evening?
Mainly here, just make sure we didn't have any questions on any of the other legislation that was involved in the SCBA grant. The other thing I was wanting to present was that we received a grant from the State Fire Marshal's Office. This was a joint effort between all 13 fire departments within the county it's a communications grant for the MARC system. It's a multi-agency radio communication system. There were like 242 fire departments in 40 counties throughout the state of Ohio that received $3 million in funds from this. And there were 12 million in requests. The total for the, what all 13 departments in the county are getting is over $619,000. And so what this is going to do is help upgrade the communication system
treatment plant on the southwest side of the property. TPN 08-0014800-000 from April 1, 2019 through March 31, 2022, covering the 2019, 20, and 21 crop growing seasons, with all such land to be planted in crops and not placed in any government land bank program and permitted to lie fallow, said leased acreage being deemed not presently or in the foreseeable future needed for any municipal purposes, and to enter into a lease therefore with the highest and best bidder, reserving the right of the city to Bucyrus, except during the planting and growing season, to spread thereupon lime sludge hauled by it from the wastewater treatment or water treatment plants and declaring an emergency. That's referred to public lands and buildings. Ordinance number 10, 2019, authorizing and directing the Bucyrus Public Service Safety Director in behalf of the city of Bucyrus, Ohio, to advertise for bids for the leasing of approximately 27.38 acres of tillable land in the aggregate in Liberty Township along State Route 98 east adjoining Oak Lake Reservoir, Reservoir number 4, TPNs 29-50-005-026-0.000 and 29-005-0293.000 from April 1, 2019 through March 31, 2022, covering the 2019, 20, and 21 crop growing seasons, with all such land to be planted in crops and not placed in any government land bank program and permitted to lie fallow, said leased acreage being deemed not presently or in the foreseeable future needed for any municipal purposes, and to enter into a lease therefore with the highest and best bidder, reserving the right of the city of Bucyrus, except during the planting and growing season, to spread thereupon lime sludge hauled by it from the city wastewater treatment or water treatment plants, also reserving the right to terminate the lease or portion of the lease during any non-growing season time period for the installation of a green or renewable energy program or test site, and declaring an emergency. That is referred to public lands and buildings. Ordinance number 11, 2019, authorizing and directing the Bucyrus Public Service Safety Director in behalf of the city of Bucyrus, Ohio, to advertise for bids for the leasing of approximately 7 acres of tillable land in the aggregate in the township of Liberty on Keys Road located at the northeast corner of the Oak Lake Reservoir property. PPN 29-007-485.000 from April 1, 2019 through March 31, 2022, covering the 2019, 20, and 21 crop growing seasons, with all such land to be planted in crops and not placed in any government land bank program, and permitted to lie fallow, said leased acreage being deemed not presently or in the foreseeable future needed for any municipal purposes, and to enter into a lease therefore with the highest and best bidder, reserving the right of the city of Bucyrus, except during the planting and growing season, to spread thereupon lime sludge hauled by it from the wastewater treatment or water treatment plants and declaring an emergency. That is referred to public lands and buildings. Ordinance number 12, 2019, reimbursing sufficient money in the amount of 20% from the sewage disposal fund, 20% from the waterworks fund, 20% from the solid waste management fund, and 20% from the stormwater utility fund for the benefit of the city's general fund to defray 2018 operation costs of the city of Bucyrus municipal offices, and authorizing and directing the city auditor to draw thereupon therefore and declaring an emergency. That's referred back to finance. Ordinance number 13, 2019, amending and supplementing ordinance number 61, 2018, being the annual appropriations ordinance for 2019 by appropriating from unappropriated general funds the sum of $20,000 to the contractual services line item and $1,715.86 to the materials and supplies line item, both line items being within the police department category within the program 1 security of persons and property subparagraph, and declaring an emergency. That's referred back to finance. Resolution number 205, 2019, authorizing and directing the Service Safety Director on behalf of the city of Bucyrus, Ohio, to advertise for bids and to enter into a contract or contracts not to exceed the already budgeted $989,629.47 with the lowest and best bidder or bidders for the Group 2 sewers project. And finally, authorizing and directing the Bucyrus City Auditor to draw a warrant or warrants in payment therefore from the appropriate appropriation or appropriations and declaring an emergency. That's referred to the planning committee. Resolution number 206, 2019, authorizing and directing the Service Safety Director on behalf of the city of Bucyrus, Ohio, to advertise for bids and to enter into a contract or contracts not to exceed $135,000 in federal assistance to firefighter grant funds with the lowest and best bidder or bidders for the fire department's breathing apparatus equipment. And finally, authorizing and directing the Bucyrus City Auditor to draw a warrant or warrants in payment therefore from the appropriate appropriation or appropriations and declaring an emergency. That's referred to the finance committee.
Thank you.
Nice work.
I need a motion to accept this as the first reading legislation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Byers, second by Mr. McKeever. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. This is the time, I need to refer all these back to the originating committee ordinance. Ordinance number 6-2019, ordinance 7-2019, ordinance 8-2019, ordinance 9-2019, ordinance 10-2019, and ordinance number 11-2019, which are the farm bids, all back to public lands and buildings. Ordinance number 12-2019 is the Finance Committee. Ordinance 13-2019 is the Finance Committee. Resolution 205-2019 is to the Planning Committee. And resolution number 206-2019 is to the Finance Committee. This is the time where any member of the general public may present their input or comments on legislation that has been read for the first time. Is anyone here to address council this evening? Ms. Auditor?
Yes, I just discovered something, and I apologize for not catching it before, because I didn't get it looked at close enough. On the enterprise reimbursements, number, that would be 12-2019. The total that we are showing, well, it doesn't mention the additional $862.21 per fund. It's in addition to that 20%. That was for the phone. It was in our minutes and everything, but it's not reflected in this ordinance. The, yeah.
Can we do this, or should we hold this off till the next meeting?
We need 861 and some change in each one of those categories.
862.21.
You can move to amend the legislation, and as part of the second reading, and then waive for the third reading, or you can bring it all back and do second, third reading at the next meeting.
Whatever you
We can make sure.
want.
Let's hold it until the next
That's
meeting
fine.
then.
That's
Okay, we'll
fine.
do a
And I
second and third
apologize.
reading.
I should have
So we'll put this one on hold. 12-2019 will go on hold. Thank you.
We're gonna catch it before we pass.
That's why, good catch before we pass it.
Do what?
Good catch before we
Yeah.
pass it.
Okay, this is where we have public participation. Any member of the general public may present their input or comments on legislation that has been read for the first time. No one? Okay, do we need a recess? No? Okay. Committee reports for pending legislation, public lands and buildings.
Public lands and buildings is favorable to ordinance 6-2019, ordinance 7-2019, ordinance 8-2019, ordinance 9-2019, and ordinance 10-2019, and ordinance 11-2019, the farmland bids.
Thank you. Finance Committee?
Finance Committee is favorable to ordinance 13-2019, the various appropriations, and favorable to resolution 206-2019, the fire department equipment bid.
Okay, thank you. And plating?
Planning Committee is favorable to resolution 205-2019, the Group 2 sewer bid.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to accept these reports.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Code, second by Mr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion passed. For further consideration of pending legislation, for the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 6-2019, which is farmland bid number 1, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 6-2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 6-2019?
So moved. Second.
McKeever.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 6-2019, farmland bid number 1 is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance number 7-2019, which is farmland bid number 2, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second?
Wireball.
Yes.
Sack.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Ordinance number 7, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 7-2019?
So moved.
Second.
Myers.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Ordinance 7-2019, which is farmland bid number 2, is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance number 8-2019, which is farmland bid number 3, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 8, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 8-2019?
So moved.
Second.
That was, okay. Schott.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 8-2019, farmland bid number 3 is duly adopted. For the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 9-2019, the farmland bid number 4, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the readings of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Ordinance number 9, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 9-2019?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance 9-2019, farmland bid number 4 is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance number 10-2019, which is farmland bid number 5, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 10-2019?
So moved.
Second.
Vogt.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Ordinance number 10-2019, farmland bid number 5 is duly adopted. For the second and third reading of proposed ordinance number 11-2019, which is farmland bid number 6, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 11, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 11-2019?
So moved.
Second.
Myers.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Ordinance number 11-2019, which is farmland bid number 6, is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance number 12-2019, this one's on hold. For the second and third readings of proposed ordinance number 13-2019, which are various appropriations, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules and waive the reading of the caption and text and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Wireball.
Yes.
Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Ordinance number 13, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance number 13-2019?
So moved.
Second.
Sack.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Vogt.
Yes.
Schott.
Yes.
Ordinance number 13-2019, the various appropriations is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed resolution 205-2019, which is the Group 2 sewer bids, Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Vote.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Resolution number 205, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed resolution 205-2019?
So moved.
Second.
McKeever.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Resolution number 205-2019, the Group 2 sewers bid is duly adopted. For the second and third readings of proposed resolution number 206-2019, which is the fire department equipment bid, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare it an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Resolution number 206, 2019.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed resolution 206-2019?
So moved.
Second.
Vote.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Wireball.
Yes.
Trucca. Sack.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
McKeever.
Yes.
Resolution number 206-2019, the fire department equipment bid is duly adopted. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on, unfinished business. Does anyone have any unfinished business they'd like to bring up this evening? No one? New and miscellaneous business. Monday, February the 18th is President's Day. City offices are open that day. Trash, everything else will be running that day, correct? On,
Weather permitting.
weather permitting, on Monday, February the 18th. Thursday, February the 28th is the Bucyrus Chamber of Commerce 2019 Business and Industry Forecast Breakfast. It's from 7:30 to 9 a.m. at Pickwick Place. The cost is $20. If you'd like to go, get your reservation in with the council clerk. Anything else anyone would like to bring up at this time?
Madam Chairman, since you brought up garbage, last week we had a 20 below chill factor, 20 plus. We didn't send our crews out picking up garbage. So that happens again. We'll hopefully have that on the website. They went out Thursday afternoon when it warmed up and we all caught up on Friday. So good job on it. And then the other thing I wanted to add, there's no calling hours apparently for Mr. Benix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mrs. Truca does have calling hours tomorrow. Yeah, it's 2 to 4 and 7 to 9.
6 to 8. Yeah.
And then the funeral mass is on Friday, or Thursday.
Thursday at 11. Okay. Anything else? I need a motion to excuse council members who are absent. That'd be Mr. Truca.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Myers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Regular committee meetings are this Thursday at 6 p.m. All referrals from this council meeting and any open project items may be discussed during the committee meetings. The referrals from tonight are,
We have 8. We have the Group 3 sewers bid, that's in planning and finance, that's from council. We have the zoning proposal change for parallel to South Sandusky, that is in planning from council. We have the one reduction, that is in finance from the auditor. We have the traffic map change proposal from the traffic commission, that is from the traffic commission to health and safety. We have the rental property regulations in our codified ordinances, that's from the law director to health and safety. We have the minimum pay for 2019, that at this point is not for Thursday's agenda unless we hear different tomorrow. That's in public lands and finance, that is from the service safety director. We have the billet and the employee manpower, that is in service and finance from the law director. Already in committee and likely on the agenda for Thursday are the material bids. That's in service and finance, and a 50-year-old agreement with AEP, and there will be somebody here from AEP on Thursday. That is in service committee.
okay, thank you very much. Then I need a motion to adjourn.
Moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. McKeever, second by Mr. Coates to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. We are adjourned at 8:30 on the dot.